formulate the global health protocols, which will regulate international travels, so that we will have the same standard in every country. We will empower developing countries to build capacities in local manufacturing of vaccines, among others in management of patent rights, access to technology, investment in the production of medical equipment and therapeutics and others. We need a joint financing to build this new global health resilience system. The cost will be much, much lower than the losses that we sustain due to the vulnerability of our global health system, such as the one we experienced during the COVID-19 pandemic. I trust that advanced economies will not have any objection to support such initiatives. And of course, the G20 will play a very important role in mobilizing the development of this global health architecture at the moment. In short, we need an agreement among G20 countries. I think that's the first step we have to go through.
Thank you, Mr. President. I agree with you. Certainly, we need a stronger global systemic approach, which means reinforcing the global architecture, not only in the health, but certainly also in the trade and many other sectors. Now, with the health of people and the planet in mind, as you mentioned, we need to see sustainable energy transition across all countries. Alongside other developing nations, Indonesia still relies heavily on coal-fired power generation. In your view, what are the key drivers to Indonesia to successfully accelerate its own energy transition?
Professor Schwab, Indonesia's commitment was reaffirmed during the COP26 in Glasgow that Indonesia is committed to progressively transition to clean energy. However, energy transition requires substantial funding as well as access to green technologies. For developing countries such as Indonesia, it must be backed by technology and financing so that it will not add excess burden to people's and national budgets as well as industries. Indonesia, for instance, requires $50 billion to transform into renewable energy and a further $37 billion for the sectors of forestry, land use, as well as marine carbon. Indonesia and other developing countries request the contribution of developed countries for funding and transfer of technology. The sources of funding and technology transfer will be a game changer in the development of innovative financing schemes must be done. And these are the questions raised by many developing and many poor countries. They will be asking about this. And the concrete outcomes can only be achieved through strong cooperation. Governments evidently cannot work alone. Government need cooperation, both domestically and globally. On domestic cooperation, the government works together with the energy state-owned enterprises as well as private sectors to design a fair and accessible energy transition. At the international level, the government has worked together with the Asian Development Bank to start the energy transition mechanism from coal to renewables. And most importantly, how the two things, once again, technology and financing will be key.
Mr. President, I would like to commend you on the firm will to go through this energy transformation or transition, which is so important. But Indonesia also has a treasure. Indonesia is the home of one of the world's largest tropical rainforests and also has the largest mangrove forest coverage in the world. And we know that when we want to fight climate change, we have to rely, of course, on decarbonization, but we also have to rely on nature-based solutions and progress made over the years to prevent and restore your natural and the natural assets have led Indonesia's positioning, I would say, as a climate superpower. What future role do you foresee for Indonesia in contributing to the global movements towards a more green future, using its particular assets also as a base for learning and policy setting?
A number of policy strategies to achieve a green economy. First is through a low-carbon development as envisioned in our midterm development plan and long-term development plan. Second, our net zero emission policies, including the launch of the roadmap to net zero emission in 2060 and net sink for forest and land use sector in 2030. And third, providing green stimulus to encourage the realization of the green economy. Our efforts for conservation and restoration of the environment has succeeded during the past few years. Deforestation rate has declined significantly to 75% in 2019 to 2020 at 115,000 hectares. And forest fires have also fallen drastically. The number of hotspots, for instance, in 2014 amounted to 89,000, and in 2021 we only have 1,300. And the coverage of the forest fires area have now fallen. In 2014 it was 1.7 million hectares, and in 2021 only 229,000 hectares. And then the restoration of peatlands are progressing well. From 2016 to 2021, around 3.74 million hectares have been restored. Mangrove rehabilitation is also conducted on a large scale. For instance, on 2021 to 2020 to 2021, around 50,000 hectares have been rehabilitated, and our target to 2024, we hope to reach 600,000 hectares. And I believe this is the largest in the world, with a carbon sink equal to 4 tropical forests. And if paired with below ground mangrove, it can reach to 10 to 12 times higher. And the financing schemes for conservation and restoration have been prepared, namely the establishment of the Indonesian Environmental Fund, which manages environment funds from domestic and foreign sources, which will be managed based on the principles of sustainability that is also credible and accountable, as well as issuing green bonds, an innovative financing scheme to finance environmentally friendly development agenda, issuing government bonds under the category of environmental, social, and governance to expand the investment base that is environmentally and socially responsible. The development of mechanism of carbon pricing, which will provide as an incentive for the private sector to achieve emission reduction. We've also done that. The implementation of budget tagging for climate in the national budget, as well as implementing carbon tax to mitigate climate change. Indonesia has the potential to be a global market leader in the global carbon trading scheme. In fact, it is predicted to surpass the carbon trade potential of Peru, Kenya, and Brazil as countries with the same tropical forest cover in the world. The establishment of carbon pricing by country in Indonesia is also relatively competitive as compared to pioneer countries of carbon trading such as Brazil, Peru, and India. And Indonesia has a number of REDD+ projects with a result-based payment scheme, such as the Green Climate Fund and the Forest Carbon Partnership Facility and the Biocarbon Fund, with a total commitment of $273.8 million US dollars. I think that is all from me, Professor Schwab.
Mr. President, thank you so much for sharing your comprehensive vision and insights. Together with all our partners and viewers around the world, we send you the best wishes to you and to your government, to the Indonesian people for this very important year. We will now continue this discussion in a smaller business circle, so please be ready to move to the next phase of the discussion. But again, Mr. President, thank you and all the best.
Thank you, Professor Schwab.